Hi, good day, and welcome to the next episode of our medieval city. This time we will do the sprinting ability to move a little bit faster through the map. So let's start. We need to go to the input action. So we go on the folder input and actions. And there are already input actions inside, but we need our sprinting ability input action. So we click on the right mouse button. We go on input and click on input action. Then we have this new input action and we call it input action sprint. And we double click on it. Here we can give a action description, for example, only sprinting. And all other options, we can leave them on default, and we save. And we close this window. Now we go back to input, and there we have the IMC default. So this is the input mapping context. So we double click on it, and we click on mappings. Here we see all our actions. We have the jump, the move, and the look. And we will add one more. We click on the plus, and then we can choose our input action we did before, which is the input action sprint ability. And here we can even define the key we want to activate it. So I can click here on the key value and then only click on the left shift button, and then he recognized the left shift button. So I can save it, and that's it here. So we close the window. And now we need to insert this ability into our character. So we go to blueprints, and normally we find our blueprint first person character. So we click on it. And here we see the blueprint of our character, the camera input, the movement input, the jump input. And now we will do the sprint input. So we click on the right mouse button and we search for EIA and sprint. This is our enhanced action event we did before. So we click on it. And now we have triggered, started, ongoing, cancelled, and completed. So we can define what shall be done when we activate it. Before we do this, we will do two new variables. The first one, we will call it walking speed, and it can be an integer, and we can compile it. And the second one we will do is we call it sprinting speed, and it's an integer as well, and we can compile it. So the idea is now we have the character movement, and inside this character movement we see the max walking speed, which is already here inside. Default is even 6 meters per second, which is pretty high. I will lower it down to 2 meters per second. I think this is realistic, and we compile it. And the idea is now when I activate the printing speed, I want to save my max walk speed inside this variable here. And then I will activate the sprinting speed. And when I complete it or cancel the sprinting shift key, I want to jump back on the walking speed, which has been saved here. So to do it, I need now to save this max walk speed from the character movement inside this walking speed variable. To do this, I can take the character movement inside my blueprint, and now I can go from here and say get max walk speed, which is the current speed, which is inside here, which is 200, and I want to save this inside my new variable, which is here. I can do it by just take it and put it here inside and say set walking speed. So this is my first action I want to do when I start this. And now I can say my new walking speed is my walking speed, which is inside the character movement, and it's saved for the moment. And to control if this is correct, I can make print string, print string to show if the value is already inside my variable. So when I now click on the left shift button, I have to see the, I think it was 200. Yes, 200 centimeter per second. So let's take a look if this is correct. I'm inside now the level, and when I click shift, I see on the left corner 200, which is correct. So this works. I go back. And now I want to activate my new sprinting speed. So I need now to set from the character movement the new speed. So I take it and say now set walking speed, set max walk speed. This is my next procedure I want to make. So I put it here. This is the next step. I can double click on the line. Then I have this kind of corner which I can move. Then it looks much more better. And now I can say the new max walk speed is my sprinting speed. So my sprinting speed is here inside, but I don't have a value yet inside. So I will put one inside. And I think for sprinting, I would choose 800 centimeter per second. And now I can get it by taking it and drop it here and say get sprinting speed. And now I can set it to this variable here. And this means I will override the 200 with the 800 that the character can sprint. And now I can do the same as before. I can say print string and show me what you have here inside. So I can take it directly from here to there. So this means when I click now on the shift left button, I have to see for the first moment the 200, which will be saved inside the walking speed. And afterwards, I have to see the 800, which is delivered from the sprinting speed to the character movement. Yes, exactly. So let's take a look on this. So we compile, we save, we go on the medieval city, and we click play from start. And now when I click on shift, I see 800 and 200, which is totally correct. And now I can even walk a little bit around to see if it works correctly. I'm walking now with 200 centimeter per second. And if I hold down the shift button, I am walking, or I am sprinting with 800 centimeter per second. And if I left this left shift button, it is still 800. This means we need now to jump back to the 200 centimeter per second. And we will do this with a so-called completed action. So we will move a little bit everything to the right, like this. And we will use the character movement to take the walking speed of the character movement and to set it up with the walking speed which we have here inside as a variable. So we will do this by take out this line and say set max walk speed, and this will be our new value, or our first value we had before. And this will be done if we completed the left shift button. So if we don't hold it any longer down, and the max walk speed will be then the walking speed, which we already saved here before as set. And now we will get it again and put it back here inside. And now everything should be worked. Let's make it a little bit beautiful, something like this. This looks not so bad. This is good. And now it should be running very good. We can even say print string. And now I hope it will show us. Let me just put everything a little bit to the right, that it looks beautiful. Something like this, for example, for the moment. And now we activate it. We will see the speed of 200. Then we will see the speed of 800. And when I left down the shift button, we have to see the speed of 200. So let's try and see if we can see everything what we described before. So I'm walking around, nothing happens. I click the shift button, 200, 800, and now I left it and I see 200. This means every time when I click it, I see 200, 800, 200, 800, 200, 800, which is totally correct. And when I walk around without the shift button, I have 200 centimeters per second. Pretty low, but this is walking. And when I'm sprinting by holding down the left shift button, I am sprinting now with 800 centimeters per second. And when I leave the shift button, I am jump back to the 200 centimeter per second. And we can, of course, now delete the print strings here. We don't need them for our project. It was only to see if everything works correctly. So we can delete it, leave everything inside what is still necessary. We can make it a little bit beautiful by move everything to the left with the left cursor button. And yeah, that's it for now. This is the sprinting ability. And I see you in the next episode. Thank you very much.